Hello, Miss Steele here. So this week we are talking about form and we're talking about value. And we're going to be using a little bit of both for our project. We're going to be making an optical illusion design, and it's going to have a little bit of form and a little bit of value to it. So you want a piece of paper, a pencil, and an eraser, definitely our art tool basics. You want a black colored pencil and a white colored pencil. You could use crayons if you don't have them. I have a sharpener. You want a ruler or something with a straight edge so we can get straight lines. You could always use a book or a box, really anything that has that straight edge. And then you want some markers. We're actually only going to be using one or two colors, but I'm going to move all of this out of the way because we need to start with our ruler and our paper. We want to make some lines going through this paper from a center point. So I'm going to line it up corner to corner, and I'm going to draw my first line. Again, I'm going to try to go corner to draw my next line. So now I know where the center of my paper is. So I'm going to draw one line going through my center, another one going through the other way. So now I have these different sections, and they're all pretty even. So I added 1, 2, 3, 4 different lines to get this going. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of these triangles. I think I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to draw some lines going out. I'm not going to put them too close together, and I'm going to make them round. So I'm not making them just straight across. I'm making them round. And I'm going to try to make them pretty evenly spaced out from each other. Now I'm going to go to this next section, and I'm going to make that same line, but I'm going to have it go in this time. So instead of going up, it's going to scoop the other way. So you can kind of see it starting to come together. So now I'm going to turn my paper, and I'm going to go round again for this next one. And again, I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to make it go the other way now. So each time I hit in a new area, I'm changing the way it's going until I get to that next side. One, two, three. So again, I'm going to turn it, and it's going to go in now, like that. And we're going to make it go other way, and we're going to keep going until we get all the way around on our paper like this. So this is our last section, and we're going to try to put these back together. So we're going to try to make it to where these all line up. So I'm going to erase this just so I can adjust it a little bit. That happens sometimes. So it can match up with all of these. Like that. I messed these two up a little bit. That happens. But I'm going to go back, and I'm going to scoop them in like this. So now we have the basic drawing done. What we want to do now is we want to use our markers, and I'm going to pick just one color. And I am going to pick this blue color. You can pick whichever color you would like. And what we're going to do is we're going to start coloring in every other section. So I'm going to color this one in blue, and then I'm going to skip a section, and I'm going to color this one in blue. And so I'm going to get this colored in blue, and then I'm going to skip the next section and make this one blue. So I'm going to get these colored in, and then we're going to move on to our next step. Alright, so now we're going to move on to our next section, and we're going to start this one out white. So we're going to change it each time we go to a new section. So I would color in this one blue, and then I would leave the next section white. And it's almost going to end up looking like a funky sort of checkerboard. So I'm going to get this one colored in blue, and basically how I color it in at the start is going to determine how I color in the rest of it. So I'm going to look, and it's like I colored in this one and then I didn't, so I know to start with color for my next one. It's almost like this pattern. So I know that I colored in this one, then I didn't color it in, so I know the next triangle I am going to color it in. So I'm going to work on getting this one colored in, and then we're going to go over those steps one more time. And you can see the optical illusion kind of already starting to come together. But once we add in some value, we're going to see it pop even more. So I'm going to get this section colored in, and then we'll move on to our next section, and I'll walk you through it one more time. So again, I can look right here, and I know I colored in the center last one, so I know not to do that. So each time you're changing which ones you're leaving white and which ones you're coloring in. And you want it to look like a checkerboard. So each time the section next to it, like I know I'm coloring in this section, so that time, the next time that will be white. So you can look at where to fill this in, and that's why remembering how to start it in the center is so important, because it can help guide you for the rest of it. So I'm going to work on getting this colored in, going back and forth on the sections that I'm coloring in. So it goes that checkerboard pattern, and then once I get it all colored in, I'm going to go back with my eraser and just get rid of any pencil lines that are hanging out. So I'm going to get the rest of this colored in, get my pencil lines erased, and then we'll move on to our next step. Alright, so now we have it filled in, I have it colored in, and I went back and I erased all of the areas that had pencil lines sticking out. And now I'm going to use my colored pencil, and where there is that marker on the edges, I'm going to color it in lightly with a black colored pencil, trying to stay in this area really lightly. And then I'm going to take a white colored pencil and color it in lightly in the center. So I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to follow the same step for all of them. And then on the sides, I'm going to add in some black colored pencil. And then in the center, I'm going to add a little bit of white colored pencil. I'm holding farther back on my colored pencil so it's even lighter, so I'm applying less pressure. And then I'm going to go back in with that white colored pencil and touch up in there. What you can do as well is you can try to find a colored pencil that's really close to the color of your marker. And we're going to use that to add in some shading on this white area. So I'm going to go through, and on the edges, I'm lightly going to color it in black. And then in the center, I'm going to add in some white. And I'm going to try to go find a colored pencil that is at least close to the color of my marker. The white's a little bit easier because if you get it outside of it, you can't really tell. But whenever you're filling it in with the black, you want to have a little bit more control so you don't get that in that white area. So I'm going to keep filling this in, and I'm going to try to dig out a colored pencil that is similar to my marker color, because I think this white area could use some shading too. So again, on any of the blue sections, your color might be different. If you chose a different color to start with, you're going to add in some black on the edges, not too dark, just lightly, and then some white in the center. So I'm going to keep going through and get this done for each of the sections, and then I'm going to try to find a colored pencil that matches the color of my marker.